Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share this about substance abuse, and mind you, I want to be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Imagine, just imagine, you are in a coffin, being buried alive, but the key is you're not dead. You don't know how to open the coffin and push the enormous weight of the dirt above. But you also think about banging on the coffin so that maybe you can unsettle the dirt upon the lid, and maybe somebody standing by your grave will notice the dirt moving and start digging their way down to you. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you cannot do it completely on your own, but you don't know where to turn for help. In reality, more than likely there were people standing by your grave. You just didn't know that. You lay there waiting for death to arrive. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind when you were abusing drugs and alcohol that maybe, just maybe, you might overdose? Not only do you take your own life by doing that, but you take what's so dear to your loved ones, and that is you, away. With this, I want to leave you with one other thought. Do not be that person that I just read about in the coffin, alive, banging for someone to hear, hoping that somebody might dig their way down to help. Be the person instead to make the first move today and reach out to someone like myself at 844-405-HELP. I'm an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, or people that do things similar to what I do. Together, I will help you take your life back before your life is gone. There are other people that can help you. 516-458-2741, 516-458-2741. And Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. You can Google him at odysseyconsultant.org. Larry Geis has over 30 years experience in the addiction, life coaching field. He can help you today for a better tomorrow. He and I always talk about, to you, that it doesn't matter where you came from. You probably had a lot of experience from the past, and hopefully you've learned from that, but it doesn't matter where you came from. What matters is where you're going. Let me just move this over here. Where are you going today and tomorrow? That light is really strong today, isn't it? That's what matters. So why don't you call Larry Geis at 516-458-2741 and let Larry Geis help you take back your life. Either Larry or I or thousands of other addiction recovery coaches, life coaches are out there to help you. Don't be that person in the coffin alive. Be that person that reaches out. People will respect you when you ask for help. People will mourn you when it's too late to help. Call Larry Geis at 516-458-2741. Let Larry Geis help you take back your life. I want to talk about Global Eyeglasses, a partner. Global Eyeglasses has over 1,200 frames. Global Eyeglasses has progressive lenses, which are considered no-line bifocals, line bifocals. Global Eyeglasses has transition lenses, which change indoor and outdoors, as well as photochromatic. Global Eyeglasses has polarized lenses for you outdoor folks that spend a lot of time outdoors in the sun. Global Eyeglasses can make your thick lens thinner. Global Eyeglasses can help your little ones and your elders with shatterproof lenses known as polycarbonate. Global Eyeglasses can help eliminate a lot of that night glare from oncoming traffic and from the computer screen during the day. Global Eyeglasses can provide UV 400 coating. Global Eyeglasses can provide anti-scratch coating, scratch resistant otherwise known. This is all available online at globaleyeglasses.com, and here's the nice thing. They are focused on saving you money, about 70% less than your freestanding brick-and-mortar local shop in your hometown. And what's unique is you don't even have to leave home to order them or to get them. You order them online, they ship them, you get them out of your mailbox. And for you folks that have a little issue about what to order and what fits best and which lenses to get, I have made a commitment not only to Global Eyeglasses but to other companies whether it's addiction recovery field or optical field, because I have 30 years of optics in my background. I have made a commitment to help global eyeglass company customers, like I've done for over 200 of you, to call in or text, and I will help you pick your frame and your lenses. And when you do call or text me, I will make sure you get free shipping. You can text me at 631-599-0218, and you can call me at 844-405-HELP. Global Eyeglasses, they are focused on saving you money. Today we're going to talk about 10 ways to find happiness when you've hit rock bottom. And people confuse rock bottom, because rock bottom is not just for alcoholics and drug addicted people. Rock bottom in life itself sometimes can be also achieved. I've been in some rough situations in my life, believe me. Who hasn't? I mean, haven't you? Some of them were my own creation, and others came straight out of the left field and were nearly impossible to prepare for. So I want to share these 10 ways to find happiness when you hit rock bottom. Number 1 is to be nice to people. It's not so hard to be nice. You might say, well, that sounds a little corny. Possibly. Do you think corny is the word for this? And it's not underrated what some people maybe will say. If you can be kind through your dark times, think about this, through your rough times, if you can be kind to people and not bite an unsuspecting heads off of innocent bystanders, you'll find your personal happiness uplifted. It won't pay your bills or fix your health, but it will give you some personal satisfaction and personal gratification. Number 2 is accomplish something. During low points, or mine at least, my low points, I felt like a total failure. I was simultaneously diagnosed with alcoholism, and I felt like my whole world came crashing down, and I diagnosed myself with alcoholism, and that's the unique thing, because you know when you've had too much. But when you start accomplishing things in your life, like my accomplishment each and every day is doing these videos, that alcoholism is the back seat of my driving force in life. For a few years now, I've been doing videos, websites, all promoting say no to drugs and alcohol. And my alcoholism, although I'll always be an alcoholic, has been a zero tolerance consumption lifestyle for me. Number 3 is treat yourself, even if you can't afford it. This might sound counterproductive, and maybe it is, but it helped me. Even if you have bills that are coming out of you know what, treat yourself to something. I'm not saying you should go and buy yourself designer shoes after you maybe lose your job, but you still, even if you lost your job or you have tons of bills, you need to treat yourself to something. For some people, like this one person that wrote into me, it was for having $2 in her pockets and no money in the bank, and knowing how it was going to pay for gas for the rest of the week. She was on a quarter a tank. But what she did instead, she took that $2 and bought herself a $1 ice cream cone and put $1 in gas in there. Went home, looked for change, but by buying that ice cream cone, she's satisfied, made herself happy for the day. Number 4 is go for a walk. It's really, really easy to get caught up in a cycle of depression, stress, and self-depreciation. You don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to get dressed, you don't want to do anything for at least quite some time after you start feeling this way. Maybe you need to get up, walk, and feel. What I mean by walk and feel, walk, obviously you know what that is. Feel the wind brushing against your skin. Feel the pavement under you, because you're walking. Walk is so healthy for you. Take a walk through the woods. Listen to the birds chirping. Look at that squirrel stuffing his mouth with some acorns. These are the things that make your life worth living for. Number 5, control. Folks, for you control freaks like I am, or I'm getting better at this, you need to let it go. None of us really have it anyway. We can plan for everything, save all our money, and still be prepared for life, what life throws at us. Goals and plans can, of course, help, but when you sit back and realize the only thing you can actually control is what you do, what you say, and what you think. Number 6 is cry it out. I'm really bad at crying. Everybody knows that. I'm not an emotional person. I just don't cry often at all. I can't even remember the last time I cried. Maybe during a soap opera, General Hospital. Not sure if it's something that I've learned to suppress as I grew up, or I'm just not prone to tears. Either way, it can be scientifically be a stress reliever. Being in the Marine Corps, being raised under a lot of discipline, crying wasn't part of my lifestyle. I finally accepted how I truly felt about any situation, and in a way, it was freeing. I didn't fix anything, but I did feel better when I cried that maybe one time during General Hospital. Number 7 is reach out to people, and I don't mean reach out to them and unload all your misery on them. Everyone has their issues. They don't need to burden themselves with yours. I mean, reach out to someone in friendship, rekindle a relationship with someone, and that might have grown to be stagnant from you. Force yourself to be around other people and try to find happiness with them. Number 8, do something new. Maybe you've always wanted to take something up like kickboxing, or maybe you wanted to take up some artwork, or maybe even riding a horse, or try hand painting. I say go for it. Even if you're drowning in debt, jobless and friendless, you have to pull yourself out of that. You can't let yourself settle into misery. I know how easy it is to sit in the dark after your electricity's been shut off. I've had that happen early in my adulthood. And you start hating yourself. You start feeling like you're a loser. At that time, I was not a person that even thought about the consequences. I just thought about living for today. That has totally changed. I actually hate now spending money unless it's absolutely necessary. And I will tell you, bills are number 1 on my list of things to do. Number 9, do something for someone else. Similar to number 1, which was, number 1 was be nice to people. But this is a little bit more than involved in number 1. Go out of your way to do good for others. Realize that you are not the only person on the planet who is struggling. Many thousands, millions people are. And there are probably tons right within your own town, your city, having a tougher time than you are. There was nothing more humbling for me than losing everything. I started looking at people around me more closely and felt true empathy. I personally befriended an old man, which I don't want to say the name, right near my neighborhood. And being able to help this gentleman with the simplest things that cost me nothing to help but meant everything to him made me today what I am. I mean, I'm not saying it totally made me, but it gave me that little spark to go the right direction down the right road. When you are doing something nice for other, I just recently did a video on karma. Something nice will happen to you, I promise you. But it doesn't cost money to help others. It doesn't cost money to smile. It doesn't cost money to help with lawn work on an elderly. In this case, I did videos. I've bought them, this particular gentleman, maybe some cheesecake. Little things that really cost me nothing to do other than doing. And made his life so much happier. And number 10 is to read. I've always been a reader. I used to love reading the newspaper daily. My grandfather was very much into reading when I was brought up in Germany, so probably that's where I got it from. But a lot of the things you read today can also promote violence, depression, anxiety. So be careful what you read. Reading also allowed me to step outside my own life for a while, pushing aside my worries and sadness and motivation. And when I was reading other people's troubles, it made me feel better for me, but made me real sad for them. So you got to be careful, because if you have depression issues, if you have issues of anxiety, you don't want to hear about other people's problems, because you'll absorb that. If you're the type of person that worries too much, when I say read some happy things. Instead of the newspaper, which is filled with garbage. When I say garbage, I don't mean lies. I mean garbage. It's filled with all the depressing things happening in the world. Read yourself a nice book. Look at some nice pictures. One of the things that I've learned is to stay away from the news, especially during the electoral process that we're going through right now, everything you hear is so negative, and the crisis with ISIS is making it even worse. You can either let life and its struggles swallow you whole, or you could fight for a better day tomorrow. And remember, your happiness, folks, your happiness is your responsibility. Be nice to other people, and you'll get nice things happen to you. Accomplish something. Do something that makes you feel good. In my case, is doing these videos. This is my rehab each and every day. Even if you can't afford, you got piles of bills coming, treat yourself to something. Definitely go for a walk, because walking is good for you. It's good for your heart. It's good for your mind. It's good for your soul. Let go of trying to be a control freak. It took me many years to do this. I think the Marine Corps instilled that to me. I am better at it now. I listen. I try to adjust my schedule and my priorities according to other people a little bit more. It does not hurt to cry. I am not a crier. I am one of those people that more or less was brought up and instilled by the Marine Corps to man up and just suck it up. But I have become better at that. Reach out to people. Just reaching out to your neighbors. I was just talking about the older man living down the street from me. Reach out to people, and believe me, people will appreciate when you reach out to them. Do something new. Take up horseback riding, drawing, sky jumping. Do something different. Get out of the everyday, ordinary things that you do, and definitely do things for other people. The simplest things, like your elderly neighbor dragging that garbage can. Volunteer and help this person. Volunteer in your church, your homeless shelters, your hospitals. Do something nice for other people, and I guarantee you, like my last video, karma, it'll come back to you. And last is to read. But stay away from all the negative news that's around. Read something that's pleasant. I recommend reading the Bible. Happiness is fleeting. It's rarely, if ever, a constant state of being for anyone, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't pursue it, even if there seems to be nothing worthy of happiness. You can either let life and its struggles swallow you whole, or fight with a silver lining. Remember, your happiness is your responsibility. I recommend a movie with Will Smith, To Pursue the Happiness. This is a person that, and you'll see this in the movie, that made the best out of every situation, including when he had his son and they didn't have a place to sleep, and he took his son into the bathroom, locked the door at the train station or bus station, wherever it might have been, and they pretended like they were dinosaurs and stuff in there. He made a situation, a happy situation, through any negative situation. Pursue the Happiness with Will Smith. See it. Folks, I hope to God today is the best day of your life. I hope and I pray always that you have a sober rest of your life. And remember, if sober today makes for a better tomorrow, and if you think positive, positive things will happen. Let today be a new day and a new life to start with for you, and may God bless you.